Where does Nikola Jokic now rank on the all-time list of NBA greats? Because after winning an NBA championship, everyone knows that your status as an all-time legend changes a bit due to the fact when you win an NBA title, that's the ultimate. That is when you ascend from to a superstar, to basketball immortality. And that's what Nikola Jokic did with the Denver Nuggets by bringing them his first ever NBA title, the franchise's first NBA title. This is really big deal. So I decided to rank the top 20 players of all time and show you where Nikola Jokic ranks. So that's a spoiler alert right there. Nikola Jokic is now a top 20 player all time in NBA history. Now that might feel like a little premature when you think about it, but then when you see this list, you tell me where you decide that Nikola Jokic today. I think that it's very clear that he's a top 20 player of all time. So let's start off with the usual suspects. Here's the rankings overall. Michael Jordan, number 1. You might disagree with that because you like to argue that it's LeBron, but it's not LeBron. It's Michael Jordan. He's the greatest of all time. Number 2 is LeBron James. Number 3, I have Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Then you got Magic Johnson at 4. Bill Russell at 5, and Wilt Chamberlain at 6. Now, a lot of people don't like Wilt and have him way lower on the list, but I mean, if you look at Wilt's career, he set every single record and he won a few championships. So he couldn't win championships. People say it was a stat pattern, wasn't about the team, maybe, but he still got those rings. So at the end of the day, he gets to be where he gets to be a top 10 player of all time. Number 7, I got Kobe Bryant. Number 8, Steph Curry. And a lot of people are like, Curry that high? He's changed the game of basketball. He's really good. One more championship and he might leapfrog into the top 5 of all time. So yeah, Steph deserves to be there. At number 7 and number 8, I got, let me correct that. Steph at 8. Number 9, I got Larry Bird. And 10, I got Shaq rounding out the top 5. Number 11, Tim Duncan. Now, here's the thing with Timmy. He was so underrated, and now he's, I think, a little overrated. Everyone's like, oh, you do not know how good Tim Duncan is. He's the top 5 player of all time. Oh, no, he's like the 11th. Shaq was more dominant. Duncan happened to spend his whole entire career in a great organization. Number 12, I got Hakeem Olajuwon, the most underrated basketball player of all time in my opinion. And then number 13, the next most underrated basketball player of all time, Moses Malone, rebounding machine, multiple time MVP. He was so much better than we remember him to be. So you got to give him credit where credit's due and put Moses Malone where he deserves to be at number 13. Number 14, I got Julius Erving, Dr. J, absolutely fantastic basketball player, changed the game. He was Michael Jordan before Michael Jordan, so you got to give him credit where credit's due. Number 15, Nikola Jokic. And you're going to be like, what? 15? Look, here's the thing, and here's the people I put behind him. Number 16, I got Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant's a 1-time MVP, 2-time NBA champion, 2-time Finals MVP. Nikola Jokic is a 2-time MVP, 1-time NBA champion, 1-time NBA Finals MVP. But I believe Nikola Jokic's NBA championships mean more than Kevin Durant's NBA championships. Just the way he did it. On his own team, didn't have to go join a super team to bring a championship. That's why I have Nikola Jokic at 15, Kevin Durant at 16. Number 17, Giannis. Giannis is very underrated. And I have him very high up there because, I mean, he is a 2-time MVP, 1-time champion, but I think Jokic is a little bit better than him overall game-wise because of the assist numbers and stuff. But you got the Giannis defense. He won Defensive Player of the Year, MVP in the same season. Really hard to do. And when you get to these points here between 15 through 20, all these players could interchange on your list, but this is my list. So here's the thing with this. When you say, I think Jokic is 15 and I think Durant's 16, I think Giannis is 17, doesn't mean I don't like Giannis, doesn't mean I don't like Durant. I think they're the top 20 basketball players of all time. That's really hard to do. So at 17, I got Giannis. At 18, I got Jerry West, the logo. He was spectacular from what I've heard because I've never watched him play. Way too long ago. Number 19, I got Dirk Nowitzki, very similar to Jokic, where you can make an argument that Dirk's all the way at 15. I have him at 19, but like whatever you want to do here. You can even go up to 14 where Julius Erving is. Like me here, I have him very close. And then number 20, I have Karl Malone. Scoring, defense, rebounding. He was fantastic. I know he never won a championship. If you're wondering where he won, Garnett at 22, Isaiah Thomas at 23. Just in case you were wondering, but this is supposed to be the top 20 players of all time, not the top 25 players of all time. But that's where I have him. So overall, after this NBA Finals, I think Nikola Jokic has really taken a huge step here, and he is now at a place where it's really difficult to imagine him not finishing in the top 12 of all time. A couple more championships, I think he can pass Julius Erving, Moses Malone. Shoot, if he gets 3, he passes Hakeem Olajuwon. But to get into that top 10 like Shaq and Tim Duncan, that's where it's going to be hard. I feel like to get past the 11th range, right? Tim Duncan's 11th. You have to like fight through this really hard barrier. That's like 3 NBA championships, possibly 4 NBA championships, maybe 1 more MVP. It's going to be really difficult for him to get to that. I'm not saying he will never be able to achieve that, but overall, where he is right now, I think Nikola Jokic has now become a top 15 basketball player of all time. And that's pretty remarkable, and it's a great achievement. He can go ride his horses and enjoy this summer in Serbia, but I'm sure he's going to be ready to dominate the NBA again next year. And look, here, if you reach the end of this video, just do me a quick favor, hit that like and subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. Travel vlogs and sports stories, sports opinions. That's what we do here at the Sports on Tap. So appreciate you watching all the way to the end, and we'll see you guys next time.